If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Today, guys, we have another evolution to check out. Just wanted to wait a bit for the websites to kind of like refresh for the options that you can potentially work with. If you guys are interested in looking at a Kylian Mbappe review, we've already done the review for that card, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. So the evolution today is a center half one, right? So, you know, it's not going to be a similar situation to, you know, before, where it's like, oh, we're giving finesse shots to defenders, or we're giving them like a stat increase, right? Because giving them finesse shot plus is not as relevant, but obviously a defensive one would be more relevant, and by the looks of it, it's going to be a paid one, right? So a paid one that is 100k or 200 FIFA points that provides you stat improvements and a position change, right? So the position change could be a really cool thing. I think Mascherano might have already had it before. I guess not. If he's like the main guy here, that's because he didn't have it before, right? Let's take a look and see here. No, he had it before. Yeah, because imagine like Mascherano not having it, right? That would be a little bit weird, right? But yeah, he is one of the cards that's trending in the game right now. It's one of those types of players that you can obviously improve to make him feel a little bit better. And to be honest, it wouldn't be like a horrible decision. Like in the center back position, I wouldn't go in this direction, because obviously you need taller, more physical players. But usability wise, it definitely increases with these types of cards, right? But there's a couple of options over here. I am scared to use Footbin, to be honest, because sometimes they're inconsistent with like the stats and stuff, and it gets a little bit concerning, you know. So center half evolution, evolved players, and these are like some of the options here, right? So we could check out both of them, because obviously there's always like trending ones, right? Like a Sergio Ramos gets one with a center half evolution, right, with all the improvements. Well, actually it's stat improvements only, so there's no playstyle plus being added. It's mainly just position change. But the position change is an added element to the card, because there's like different ways you can use them. We're kind of at a point in the game now where, honestly, if you want to go in the route of like just trying out these cards for fun in like main attacking positions, you can, right? Because you know, Sergio Ramos, for instance, has good shooting. You would go in the route of, you know, giving him a hunter chemistry style, give him the pace, give him the shooting, and then you would just use him as a physical oriented striker, right? You could do that for fun. Now, meta wise, you still, you know, would use these cards in the actual defensive positions. I think with a card like Ramos, you could potentially go in the direction of giving him an engine, right? Little pace, dribbling, and passing boost. But obviously, I think pace needs to be maximized, right? So a shadow chemistry style puts him in a very good area. He does have all of the defensive playstyle. He doesn't have the playstyle plus for intercept plus, but I think boosting him to be at up until this point is going to make him very, very solid to use in the center back position, or honestly, even potentially in the midfield as well, right? So pretty cool concepts you can work with in a situation like that. Maguire from the Footies card before gets an improvement, right? So obviously a pretty usable version of his card. Playstyles wise, doesn't have intercept, so that's obviously a little bit of a letdown in the card, because the intercept is a very relevant playstyle to work with in this game because of the cutback meta. But you know, a card like this, shadow chemistry style, again, you increase his pace to be in a very good area, with defending also being a very good area, right? And it keeps meta controlled lengthy too. Very good stuff to work with, other than the fact that he's not an intercept, right? We have Ake, who has the potential of feeling better now, right? Which is definitely very nice, because for me, at that point, like, the thing about this card, right, is that now you can switch him to CDM, and that does add some variables on him, because you can use him as a player that can dribble and all that kind of stuff, right? Because I feel like with my defenders, it's like a really big deal for me to have that lengthy. And he doesn't have that, right? Because, you know, pace is really relevant to work with too. But With a card like this, you'd probably go in the route of giving him like a Sentinel because his pace is already very good. But then you're kind of like well-rounded everywhere else as well. Good defense, good physical, dribbling is in a better area. So maybe his transition speed will be a little bit better. So potentially using a card like this in the actual left back position now might not be a bad situation. But again, the only thing that he lacks is the lengthy, which would be nice to have. But there is the added variable of being able to switch him into the CDM position, right? Because a CDM that has good dribbling stats, still a high work rate, of course, but good dribbling stats with well-rounded stats elsewhere is very nice. But all these play styles is very like meant for him to be used as an actual left back, right? Because of whipped pass and stuff like that, right? But again, another option you can have. Saliba wouldn't be against this one. Saliba is typically that guy that has a good physical presence in game, right? There's this card right here who is fantastic. He's still expensive for obvious reasons, right? He's a very good center back. He's one of the center backs I always compare to, like when there's like a Delit card, SBC, I tell you guys, like, you know, you could just get a Saliba if you you know, pack him. If you could just get him, because it's, you got to get lucky, right? But if you have a Saliba, like, you're not going to need it, right? Like for me, Saliba, I would say, is one of the top center backs, right? And this one, the added variable of him compared to this version right here is the intercept plus, right? Now, obviously, he doesn't have aerial plus, right? But if you go to his play styles and check out the base stuff, he still has a regular physical, and his base defensive play styles is all still pretty good as well, right? So obviously, if you still have the team of the season and you want to upgrade that, wouldn't be a horrible situation either, right? Kalulu, a card that I don't really see often used, but looks pretty good, to be honest, is another card that gets improved, which is very good for him because, you know, you go down the route to giving him a shadow. His physical has been increased, which is a very big deal because you can now give him the shadow and defensive boost while still making him, nope, never mind, giving him an anchor is going to be more relevant, I think. Yeah, I mean, 96.99, but he's a lengthy on that, and that's going to be way more relevant than keeping him uncontrolled. Unless you use him as an actual right back, because honestly, the playstyles are not bad for the right back position as well. Romero from that, I think this was like the team of the tournaments. Yeah, team of the tournaments. Karch gets an upgrade as well. I think this was a OBJ card, right, guys? I think you guys know more than me. I think it was an OBJ card. But yeah, he gets improved too, right? If you're a Spurs fan, give him a nice little shadow chemistry style, mostly lengthy player, well-rounded pretty much everywhere on the card. Good play styles, only lacks in the jockey, which at this point in the game would be nice to have all of them, to be honest, right? Like a jockey plus would be great too. But honestly, he has very good play styles in general. Like even the relentless is great to work with in the center back position too, so can't really go wrong with that. Bisek typically is a really nice center back too. He's one of those types of dudes that, you know, you go into his play styles, lacks two, but he just has a good presence in game, right? The team of the season was good because Relentless Plus was such a big deal to work with on him, because in game it worked well with his 6'5" height and body type, right? So I still feel like that'd be the case now, to be honest, because he is very well formatted for the anchor, right? You boost the pace, the defense, give him a little bit of extra aggression. It works out very nicely, right? That a little bit of extra aggression could be helpful on that second man press too, so that could be pretty cool too, right? Oh look, Anthony actually had a brand new 9. And he looks horrific on this one. But he's the best player in the game. Let's see what else we have here. So center half evolution here. Bisek, Cannavaro. I always forget that this card's in the game. You know what it is, bro? It's like, in the past, guys, like the small agile players, sometimes in the center back and midfield position, they would still be good, right? Like during the time periods of like Team of the Year Conte, like during that time period where that guy is just all over the pitch, that's when they were good. But this year's game, I'm telling you, it's just so much more relevant to work with the taller, more physical players because it's so heavily reliant on defensive AI and you not actually controlling them, that those guys are going to be the ones that do the most work for you, right? These guys used to be like the monsters because of the manual defending, right? When you're manually defending, moving left and right, backwards, forwards, the transition speed was crazy, right? But it's not really the flex nowadays to do. Ruben Diaz gets one. Honestly, this card is super cheap, so you can just go with that one, who is... I know it's the end of the game, but that's like incredibly cheap like compared to the Delitas we see at 1,000,000 coins, like this is a very cheap card for how he performs in game, right? Like he's very, very good. I liked Ruben Diaz for a while. Do I like him more than a Van Dijk or a Saliba? No, because trust me, I've rotated those center backs all the time. But he's like a level below those guys, you know what I'm saying? And still pretty good. Ruben Diaz is a beast. That's like a really, really cheap price for that. So I don't really look into cards like this as much, you know. Renard gets one from the Team of the Year moments. There's also the Footies card that exists, 75k. But, you know, some people could go down that route as well. Fabinho obviously getting 1-2 of the stat improvements. You can't really go wrong with this because, again, these guys are kind of formatted in a way now where you can give them an anchor. They're still a lengthy. You give them that pace boost, defensive boost, and physical boost. And then all the stat improvements to make him well-rounded is pretty nice too with Knight's playstyles, right? I will say with Fabinho, I don't know what he's like after the improvements. Before the improvements, he didn't feel like a special CDM to me, you know? The player that I always compare to is like the Toni Kroos card. Toni Kroos is just, in my opinion, miles better than most of the medium-high work-rated CDMs. Like, I wouldn't use anybody over that card. Patrick Vieira, like, defensively is actually, like, decent, but just doesn't touch him, you know, like, in my opinion. That card they did a really good job with, especially as an objective card. It was just fantastic. But thinking of which, I haven't played the game, like the actual gameplay, in a couple days. When there's no content for me to do it, I just, it's nice for my brain. No, these ones with finesse shot plus, that's from the other one, right? Top number 9. Yeah, you can add that to it. Let's see what easy SPC has. If they have any like ones that like really pop up, because they have that rating system. I like the rating system. It's actually pretty helpful. FC24 evolutions, center half. Couple of the female players, center half evolution. Is this guy lengthy? Is that why he's up there? No, he's a still controls player. Good improvements though. Good improvements. Okay, Fernandez, that's the card that's still trending. Is he still 99 for everything? Oh, he does. He does get it for everything. So center half evolution into road to FC25. You could do it for this card. Interesting. Doesn't the road to FC25 already do that for him though? Interesting. Center half evolution. Road to FC25. Oh, okay. So you still have to do 2. Center half transformation, center half evolution. Ah, okay. So it's just one or the other, pretty much. The sentimental cards for this one would be good. Oh, Konate. What's Konate's other card like? Because that card, like I said, I've never tried him, but I feel like he could be really good in game. For him to maintain the price, he must be one of the top meta choices for sure. You know why? Because like I always told people in the past, like when I reviewed his evolutions, you guys can even check yourself this year. Konate, if you chose him as an evolution during that time period, like because it was the comparison between him and Vardiol, right? And I'm like, dude, this game is all about like defensive presence, physical presence. Konate is that type of player that has that stuff. And when I see Aerial Plus, it already gives me the impression. Interesting though, 2.5 mil, no intercept, but he probably still performs like a monster because it's all, like I said, it's all about physical presence, man. If it's you feel it right away with the center backs, it doesn't really take a lot, you know. But yeah, you know, Konate gets another one too from the footies. You can't really go wrong with this one as well. This one actually has intercept. So that's interesting, right? Block plus, bruiser plus, and aerial plus. Yeah. Not too shabby. Still has a regular anticipate too. Not a plus, but still pretty good on that as well. Do Oliveira, yeah, a bunch of players that are sentimental. That could be pretty cool, right? You got a card like this if I was doing like a Portuguese team, right? Ruben Lima, who is well formatted, but meta-wise, as a defender, he's not a lengthy, but looks like he would be like very agile, right? Press proven plus kind of crazy. You know, he's got some passing play styles too. Probably has some position changes too. Yeah, see, the position changes are there as well. So, yeah, no, for this one, guys, there's going to be a lot of choices to go with as well. You can go with a lot of the female players as well. The female players can definitely do some work in this game for sure. There's a lot of players that you can obviously go in the sentimental route for. That could be really cool because they get really, really drastic improvements that make them significantly better. So for instance, if I were to go with the Portuguese players, there's one with Ricardo Carvalho, right? I could go with that direction and make him significantly better stats-wise. Because I think this card, is he still a thing if I give him that? Yeah, he is. Now it's more at a point where the pace is in a better area for the meta, right? When he first came out, it's a little bit older, right? Oh, that's from the Team of the Year. That's interesting with the Ruben Dias. Oh, you Pep! Oh, you Pep! My boy. Finesse shot plus on him because of the other one, though, right? Top number 9, yeah. But, yeah. Oh, look, Thiago Di Jailo. He actually recently transferred to us on loan. But he gets an improvement, too. So, yeah. You can go in the route of going Sentimental, like I said. Or you can go in the route of, you know, actual meta, and it'll still be pretty good, too. If you choose to actually pay for the evolution, right? Paid evolutions at the end of the year is kind of cringy, to be honest. But I don't know if there's like objectives for FC25 if you guys are interested in that type of stuff. I'm not, but people might be. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Portugal plays in a bit, so I'm very excited to watch that game. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.